Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm certainly good. There's certain things I'm
Yeah.
uncertain about. We'll discuss about that. Today is certain uncertainties, right?
Yeah.
How do you view
You know, if there
uncertainty?
is,
Yeah,
if
go
there
on.
is anything that is certain about it, especially in today's time, you
Yeah.
know, it is that we are living in uncertain times, and I believe in every generation people used to say that.
Hmm.
90s, if you ask them, oh, these are uncertain times. 2000s, yeah, these are uncertain times. The .com is bursting, and or the recession is there.
Yeah.
I think we constantly living this uncertain times, and I don't think there is any better time than this when the pandemic is raging.
Hmm.
We certainly are in uncertain times.
Yeah. And I think I've been living in uncertain times, not according to me, but more so from others' perspective since 2006, I think, ever since I went to China.
Mhm.
Even when I was moving, the people were like, you don't know the language, you don't know the people, you don't have a job over there. How are you going into stepping into so much of uncertainty? A lot of people couldn't figure that out, you know.
Yeah,
But
and you enjoy that. You can thrive in uncertainty.
I always do. I
Yeah,
always thrive in uncertainty, whether it is shows like this, whether it is any kind of a situation where there is an uncertainty. I think the greatest opportunity that uncertainty gives us is to be present in the moment.
yeah. And do you know that there is a term for that?
No,
To be able to, probably prosper, or to be able to, be creative in uncertain times.
what is it called?
It's called negative capability.
Okay,
That itself has a negative connotation, but I believe in today's world that's considered to be one of the good, or desired capability to have.
why is it? What can you elaborate on that? What is negative capability?
I think it is. I think it's said about Shakespeare or someone like that.
Okay.
That you get into a confusion, you get into uncertain, and then you still find clarity and creativity in that.
Hmm.
And that's called negative capability. So today in all this corporate world, you know we don't know what is going to come. Every time technology is changing, or every time the business is changing, the market is changing, and you have to find out, you have to cut through that uncertainty and see a future or multiple futures.
How do you train, for example, children to develop the skill? Because parenting is all about having certainty. You know how your children should live and how they should do and how they should
Yeah,
evolve, what kind of a job, and right at the age of 10 or 12, they start programming children by asking, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Right, and they want a certain answer, and
yeah. I think a lot is to provide opportunities to children,
hmm,
because I like the concept of what they call alternate futures, because you don't know what is exactly the future. If you know that my child is going to be an engineer or a doctor or an artist, then it is easy for us, right? But now that very fact that we don't know, the children don't know, right? Then for us, we see either different alternate futures or a range of futures for them,
hmm,
and to prepare them for that and allowing them to select their future for themselves
hmm,
is probably one of the best thing that a parent can do.
yeah.
And I believe, and I believe that for a large part the children have to decide themselves.
You remind me of something, right? When I kept changing my careers and I kept trying to figure out what I want to do and keep evolving, the constant conversation around me is, Samir, settle down. Samir, pick something. Samir, don't keep moving and changing so much,
Yeah,
And the society is programmed so much into identifying one thing and then sticking to it and not evolving constantly. So
I have a very interesting concept on that, by the way.
okay.
Might be a discussion for another time, but societies or even parents or even for the fact that you worked in a company, or you did some activity, puts you into a kind of constraint, and they expect you to live within that constraint. What I usually say is that there are constraints which are restrictive in nature, some are very protective in nature, but we should not have those two constraints, even for that matter, protective in some ways, and to have very creative constraints.
Okay.
Uh, that's a very interesting discussion for another day. But I think people, when they put these kind of constraints, they tend to decide your future. They say that, no, yeah, this is the way, this is the future in front of you because you did this, or because I think it is better. And that's our way of simplifying, the uncertainty, our way of, naively solving the uncertainty.
True, but certain certainties are good as well, right? Like for example, if somebody came into Awesome Bytes at this point of time and they didn't know how long this conversation was going to last, they would just be hanging over here. But now they know for sure that every day they do it for not more than 8 minutes. 7 minutes to 8 minutes is where we wind up, and it gives us a space to actually take an idea, discuss it, and even though we don't have a certain idea of what you're going to talk about, we have a certain idea about what the theme is. But there's a lot of uncertainty in that 7 minutes. You don't know what is going to happen. You don't know what is going to happen.
In fact, there is another concept for that. It is called certainty of the future. A near future, sorry. Certainty of the near future.
So we are certainly going to discuss all of this on different days. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the near future is certain. We need to wind up.
Yes, it is. Certainly, we have to. The beauty of uncertainty is wonderful in my life, but certainty also is wonderful in so many ways. And certainly, till we meet again tomorrow, God willing, have a great morning.
Goodbye.